what's good? What's good? What is good? See, I thought just because it was Monday Night Football. See, I thought because of Monday Night Football, because it was going to be late on Monday, and your boy wasn't going to go live because I ain't post nothing. Hey, your boy still going to go live. Your boy still, I'm at work, and I'm still going to go live. I'm still going live. What's the deal? Make sure you're hitting that like button when y'all come through here. Make sure you're hitting that like button when you come through here. Make sure you're hitting that like button now. Make sure you hit it. Make sure you're hitting it. Already, I'm going to let some of y'all get up in there. Boy's a little brother. Already. Yeah. Let some of y'all get up in here real quick. I'm gonna let some of y'all get real quick. Already. So, the Houston Texans defeat the Dallas Cowboys 34-10. Now, I know the stats because normally have a paper to read off the stats, but CJ 60%, I think it was 67%, 200 yards, no touchdowns, had interception. Joe Mixon had 109 yards, 3 touchdowns. And it's crazy that Nico Tank had the exact same stat line. They both were targeted 7 times, had 4 catches for 54 yards and no touchdowns. Offense finally was able to score a touchdown in the second. They made the point with that last touchdown with Joe Mixon. They were trying to make sure to score a touchdown before in the second half, because the other touchdown was from Barnett running that fumble back. And I'm glad to see they also credited Petrie a forced fumble, because Barnett had sacked, and then the offensive lineman recovered it, and then Petrie Petrie forced the fumble on him. Barnett was able to pick it up, running into the end zone, defensive touchdown. Like I was saying, that's the only thing the Texans defense hasn't done yet to help out the Texans, was to actually score a touchdown themselves. That's the only thing that they have not done this season themselves, was to score a touchdown. Because they've done everything they can. They've gotten turnovers, short fields, all the things that they absolutely could do, except for actually scoring a touchdown. They were finally able to get a touchdown score in this game here. Even though it was 34-10. Even though it was 34-10 again, I didn't think it was going to be that big. I didn't think it was going to be a 34-10 game. I thought it was going to be close. I think I had 24-14. I think I had 24-14. Yes, Magic have won again. Yes, 109 to 99 over the Phoenix Suns already. Yes, but we can talk about that. We can talk about that in another video. But hey, play the song. Orlando Magic. Oh, Orlando Magic. Play the song. But this is the thing. Even though it was 34-10, that wasn't your normal 30 game. That wasn't the 34-10 game. That's not the 34-10 game that you want your team to have. That's not the 34-10 game. That's not the 34-10 game that you think of when you like, okay, we beat somebody 34-10. It's not the same thing. See, now the first play of the game, when they threw that 75-yard touchdown to Nico, and it got called back because of downfield, Larry Tunsil, illegal lineman downfield, and it's your boy I can't think of his name. DeAndre Ware. Shout out to that boy DeAndre Ware, because DeAndre Ware, he had a great call when that play happened. Like, you're the starting left tackle. Y'all practice this play over and over and over. You know what the very first play is of every game. I think normally, especially in this offense, and for most offenses now in the NFL, like most of the offenses now in the NFL, but especially for this Kubiak Shanahan offense, like the first 12 to 15 plays are scripted. You know exactly what plays are going to run, like, which means is they're going to run these specific plays. Like, it's normally between 12, 15, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a bit more. But they have those, no matter what happens in the game, those are going to be the sequence play. No matter if you score on the first, no matter if you score on the first play or you score a play 5, the next play is already. They already know exactly what plays they're going to have. Those plays already scripted out, and you know what play you're going to be running. Why are you down the field when you're not supposed to? Like, why are you illegal? You're not the backup left tackle that just got put in because the starting left tackle got hurt. You are the starting left tackle, the Pro Bowl left tackle. That's supposed to be an All-Pro left tackle. You claim that you're an All-Pro left. Why are you illegally downfield? Why? Why are you illegally downfield, bro? Like, come on. Why are you illegally downfield? Why are you illegally downfield? Like, hey, shout out to that boy Biggs for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Bobby did just enough to keep his job. Bobby did just. Hey, shout out to Biggs for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, he gonna keep his job because we won. But, like, did the offense really look like? Did the offense really look like that? This is one defense in the league. They average giving up 28 points a game, I think, at home. Like, they're horrific. They none of their home games have been close. And shout out to that boy Jeffrey for the super chat love too. Definitely appreciate that. Watch the game at TA next to Huntsville. Oh, you watch the TA next to Huntsville, just in case I heard had to go just in case he had to go violate some people if we lost to the Cowboys. Hey, don't go violate nobody. Hey, don't go violate nobody. So you out there in Huntsville. I'm actually close by. I'm not that far from I'm from Dallas. I'm not that far from Arlington. I'm actually close by. I'm not in Arlington, but I'm that far from Arlington. I'm not that far from Arlington myself. But yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, I actually don't see too many cows around here. Now you missed that, but shout out that boy Jeffrey Huff for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. But yeah, you, like I was saying though, like, you gotta know, you do know what the play is. Why is you up here? Like, why legally downfield? That don't make no sense to me. Like, that don't make no sense to me. And negated a huge play. Said that play right there is more yards than Nico ended up getting the rest of the game. Nico only ended up with 54 yards. That play, I think, was like 74, 75 yards. Would have been a touchdown. Would have been CJ's only touchdown of the game. Now he has no touchdowns and has an interception, and brought Nico back. Nico was back. This offense is still hard to watch. And that's what I'm getting at. Yes, Joe Mixon rushed for 109 yards. Joe Mixon had 3 rushing touchdowns. That is all phenomenal. Joe Mixon is definitely the MVP of the team. Right now, Joe Mixon is definitely the MVP of the team. Sad to say, he's not going to get rewarded for it. Obviously, he's not going to win MVP. He's not even going to be an all-pro. Like, I know they have a flex, so maybe he might be able to get a flex position, because the 2 running backs that are going to be all pro is going to be Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Those are going to be the all pro running backs. And then I need to see what the other AFC he's probably going to be a Pro Bowler, and I don't think Joe Mixon's ever had a Pro Bowl. I don't think he's ever been selected to a Pro Bowl, so he could get his very first Pro Bowl bid this year. But Joe Mixon is having a phenomenal season. I think this probably is Joe Mixon's season of his career. Like, I definitely think this has to be his best year. Where he came into this game with, I think, with 65 yards, so he tags on another 55 yards, so he tags on another 109 yards. So now we're talking about 760. That's what we're talking about. He's around 760. Still got, how many minutes we got left? Because we 7-4. So 17 games. So what, 6 more games? He got 6 more games left. So if he needs less than 300 yards to reach 1,000. I think his career high is either 1155 or 1200. So I'll just say 1200. Like I want him to have over 1,200 yards. I want this to clear. I need to see exactly what his touchdowns is, because I know. Well, he had like 6 rushing. He had 6 rushing touchdowns before last week, and he scored 3 today. So that's 9. So he's already at 10. So he might career high in touchdowns. He might be at his career high in touchdowns. I think his career high in touchdowns is like 10 or 11. So we're talking about, like, he's definitely having a career year. And it's crazy that all the running backs, all the running backs, all the backs that move teams this year, like I just said, the 2 guys who are going to be all-pro running backs this season is going to be Derrick Henry and Saquon. Both left their team, left Tennessee and left the Giants. And then now you add Joe Mixon from leaving the Eagles and heading to the Texans. So it seems like the three predominant productive running backs this season were guys who were on one team and left one situation to go to another. Now, Joe Mixon is the only one that probably left a situation that was perceived to be good to go to another good situation. Derrick Henry's situation in Tennessee was not perceived, and Saquon's in New York definitely wasn't perceived to be good. So both of them definitely, from like the moment, upgraded their position, upgrade the teams that they. When it came to Joe Mixon, even if you felt that the Texans were better than the Cincinnati Bengals, you thought Joe on a good team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Now we're seeing what that Cincinnati Bengals team is doing now, especially offensively. Joe Burrow's fine, and they're not able. I don't know. People are actually down saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I just don't. I'm not a huge believer in Denver. I think that the Denver, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Bengals play Denver, so they'll have a chance as long as they get in reaching distance of the Broncos before they go up and play the Denver Broncos. They could settle it themselves and be able to get in there. So I still think that situation itself is still a good situation. Well, it's definitely a good offense. But Mixon obviously is the best thing for this Texan team right now, and he's what keeps the Texans above float. I've been saying this for weeks, that the Texans don't have a good running game. They have a good running back in Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon himself is a good running back. I don't feel like we have a good running game and a good running attack, because I'm saying we don't coach it well, we don't scheme it well, we don't call it well, we don't block it well, and outside of Joe Mixon, we don't run it well. We don't run it well. Hey, shout out to my boy Big B. Hey, happy birthday, bro. Shout out to my boy Big B. Happy birthday, bro. Hey, the Texans got the dub for your birthday, bro. The Texans got the dub for your birthday, bro. So shout out to that boy Big B. It's that boy's birthday. But yeah. But like I was saying though, like outside Joe Mixon, like the running attack, like outside Joe Mixon, like the running attack is not that good. But Joe himself is a great. Joe Mixon himself is a great running back, and he's able to make the small things even bigger. He's able to get yards, and he's able to turn 2 yards into a 5-yard gain, and a 5-yard gain to a 15-yard gain, things like that. So he's able to turn the small things negative. He's able to turn what should be tackles for loss and negative yards. He's able to squirt out 1, 2, 3 yards, which are key, because those keep drives moving. They keep you in front of the sticks and behind the sticks. Hey, shout out to that boy Big B for the Super Chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate it, bro. Already, man. Don't worry, bro. Hey, you know November got to stick together. It's about time that the Texans hopped on the train and started winning some games in the month of November. Everybody else doing it for you, boy. Hey, like the Orlando man out there balling. Without our best player, without Paolo Banchero, we are out there just balling. I think we on 6 or 7 straight, just balling, hooping. But the Houston Texans, I don't know what their problem was. You had a game on my birthday, and you had a game right there. Right there. The best team right there. And what you do? You let it slip away. Like, what you gotta say? The Lions are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. like, that's what we did. So, but I knew the Texans were going to win this game. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I knew the Texans were going to. I had no question about the Texans winning this game. This is one of the first times in a long time, really pretty much that I can remember, But I'm gonna say a long time. I'm pretty sure it's probably a game or two before. Nah, never mind. It has been because the Brock Osweiler years was like this because I didn't like the Brock. Never mind. The Brock Osweiler years for like a lot of those games. But I had this feeling. But I have a feeling before every single Texan game. It's not a nervous feeling. It's not even it's not like an anxious feeling. It's just like an anticipating. Like I can't wait to watch this game. And I don't feel like it's like anxiousness. It's just like I just have a feeling like like hey, the game about to come on. I'm anticipating watching the game. I didn't have that feeling during this game. And it's not even because like Dallas is not a good football team, because the Texans have played plenty of not good football teams, and I've still had that same type of the Texans game about to come on play, can't wait to watch this game type feeling. Even when the Texans were trash with David Culley, the coach, and Lovie Smith, the coach, and the Texans only got 4 wins with Deshaun Watson, but I guess a little bit different because they were able to put up a lot of points, and watching Deshaun Watson throw the football all over the yard back in 2020 was an exciting time. But even in the last couple of years, I still had this feeling going into the game, even when I wanted to put themselves in a better position to be able to draft a franchise quarterback. I didn't have that feeling today. Like I really didn't. I really didn't have that feeling today about this Texan game. I really didn't. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that I didn't have that feeling. I don't know what it is or was. I don't know what it is or what it was, but I didn't have that feeling. Like I didn't have that feeling. I don't know what it is or what it was. I really just didn't have that feeling today. And as I'm watching the game, it's like, now, like when Nico gets the first play, I'm excited. Then he gets called back. I said, "Oh, that's the Texans. Here we go." But we were able to keep it turning. And was able to score on the first drive. And Joe Mixon able to get into the end zone. All right, cool. Okay, defense stopped them. They went for the fake. Was able to stop them. Texans got the ball back again, and end up punting or whatever. Then the next drive, I'm not mistaken, I think that's what Stingley got. I think that next drive is when it's interception. And then the Texans were able to score, able to get able to turn points out of that. So, but it's just like, and then on cue gave up a big play. Like I say, every single game this season, all 11 of the Texans games, no matter what game it is, and again another game where the defense played phenomenal in the second half. I mean, the defense looked like how the defense normally looked in that second half of football. But the Texans defense gives up a big, like that touchdown that they gave to I forgot number 9, I forgot his name. The touchdown that they gave to him, that big play, I think that was the longest play of the game. I think that was a touchdown. I think it was charted as a 70-yard touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. You're right, Nico did have 2 touchdowns, because if Nico almost would have ran in that one, that was the only way for Nico to get a touchdown. It's kind of like Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson did too. Like Andre Johnson, if he didn't score going into the end zone, when we got into the red zone, Andre Johnson wasn't gonna get a touchdown. Either we're gonna hand the ball or we're gonna do something like Matt Schaub was not good at throwing the face in the end zone. I know at one point in time it was a question: is it Schaub or is it Jerry? But it definitely was Schaub. Like Schaub just did not excel in throwing those back shoulder fades in the end zone. He just didn't. That wasn't his strong suit. That was not Matt Schaub's strong suit. And also having Arian Foster cost Andre some touchdowns in his career. Like Andre definitely could have way more touchdowns and should have had way more touchdowns in his career. And it was to the point that when Andre had to score going into the end zone versus getting into the red zone and able to. Unlike Hopkins had got a lot of touchdowns in the red zone because that's something that Hopkins also excelled at, and we always had quarterbacks that even with Ryan Fitzpatrick could throw the back shoulder fade. Like outside of what's his name, Brock Osweiler, all the quarterbacks that we had during Hopkins' tenure here was able to throw the back shoulder fade for him and able to get him in the end zone. He was able to score touchdowns. But anyway, Nico should have definitely had 2 touchdowns in today's game. But I mean, I wasn't like mad at Bobby. I wouldn't say that Bobby called a bad game, but it's just that I don't know, like for this offense that we thought was going to be, like we thought this offense was going to be one of the best offenses in the league. Now, I will say this: outside of the Joe Burrow and probably the Ravens, like all in the lines as well. Offense in general are down this year. Like if you look at all the quarterbacks that normally are top tier in passing yards, like you look at obviously Patrick Mahomes. You look at what's it called from last night, Justin Herbert. You look at all these other quarterbacks that normally throw for a lot of yards, a lot of points. I know Tua was hurt. CJ, our quarterback, and CJ, like passing them and offense in general is down. Outside of the Detroit Lions, the best team in football, and then Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, I think would be if he had a winning record. If Joe Burrow had a winning record, he didn't have to be winning the division. Joe Burrow just had a winning record, was in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, I feel like, is the leading candidate in MVP because Joe Burrow is just dominating the league. He looks like how Deshaun looked in 2020. He's playing the exact same way Deshaun played in 2020, except I actually think they have a better chance to making the playoffs, unlike Deshaun Watson when Houston Texans. But that's besides the point. But offense in general leaves a lot to be desired, and our offense falls into that category. And we were talking about, like, it was people that talking about 5,000 yards and 3,000 yard receivers. I thought we gonna have 3,000 yard receivers. Now I thought that Nico would be leading the charge, but I did think that Tank and what's his name, Tank and Stephon Diggs will have lesser, on the low end, like just right at maybe 1,100 yards, and Nico himself will have 12. I just thought Nico would have 1,300 yards. And this is what Nico's second game that he played fully without having 100 yards. And obviously they were trying to get him the football. Like I said, 7 times, only had 4 catches. And then one catch, they were trying to hurry up and get the play rolling. And I don't even know why Dallas even challenged it. Like, I don't even like y'all down. Like, what y'all challenging it for? Like, I mean, like, if anything, I would let them run and try to get this game over with. Like, cause Mike McCarthy is out of there anyway. Really, Dallas fans are really happy. Like, no matter what nobody gonna tell you, like, Dallas fans are really happy right now because their mind's really on trying to get the door in Dion, in which that's where their mind should be. And I'm glad, at the very least, I'm glad the score reflects how the score should have looked. This is how the score should have looked. 34-10 is how the Texans should have Dallas Cowboys. No, they were 3-16 coming into this game. They haven't won a game at home. They defense average is giving them 28 points. Can't put up any points because they don't have Dak Prescott. You are in your division. You are supposed to be a good team. You're at the very least the 4th best team in the AFC because you're a division leader. Like, you should walk into this game having the better team and should be able to beat them convincingly. And even though it was a 34-10 win, it does not feel like a 34-10. Like, I feel like that Patriots game felt more dominant of a win, in my personal opinion. Just from watching it. This game felt like Dallas was lingering around a little bit too long. And again, that Patriots actually were lingering around. Like, they legitimately were lingering around. Maybe because the Patriots had a whole bunch of turnovers because what Drake made threw 2 interceptions. He got strip sacked, and then they tight end fumbled the football as well. So because of that, and also speaking of turnovers, I mean, Kalen Bullock should have had an interception. Stingley should have had. Stingley had one. Stingley should have had 3 interceptions, especially that last one. But then he also had another one that he would have been going the other way. Like, it was another one he had earlier, maybe like either the drive or the drive before that. He would be going the other way. And same thing with Kalen Bullock. Like, Kalen Bullock, I think that's the reason why Kalen Bullock dropped the interception, because Kalen Bullock was thinking, I'm taking this to the crib. Like, Caleb Bullock, he thought he was taking it to the crib. So we had, like, Stingley should have had 3 picks, but at least 2, and Caleb Bullock had picks. So we should have had 3 interceptions. Obviously, we had the fumble as well. And again, we all know the turnovers come in bunches. And there's another good thing also that the Texans were able to get a blowout. And again, blowout where you didn't allow a lot of points, because even in the Patriots one, in the Patriots blowout, the Texans still gave up 20 points. Because the Patriots still scored 3 touchdowns. You only gave up 10 points in this. And I think the Texans were -2. And yeah, they were -2 in the point differential, because the Jets, they were +1, and then they lost by 3. So yeah, so they were -3. They were -3 again in the point differential. So you outscoring your opponents by 24 today helps that. So what now that means you're +22. Now the Texans are +22 point differential, which means as long as the Texans win, as long as the Texans win the majority of their games going out, which you go Tennessee, where you got Tennessee at home, you got on the road Jacksonville, at home against Miami, at Kansas City, home against the Ravens, and then at Tennessee. So you have games left. So as long as you win, as long as you win the majority of those games, and you don't get like shut out or blown out in the losses, you're gonna have a significant point differential. And again, if I'm not mistaken, I think in the 2019 season, the Texans had a negative point differential. The Texans had a negative point differential in that season in 2019 for the majority. Either they had it throughout the whole season, or at the very least they had it for the majority of the season. Had point differential, and a lot of that because the losses that you had when you lost to Baltimore, when you lost to Denver in that season, both of those losses were blowouts, and then the wins you were having, you were barely beating teams. Like you beat Jacksonville on them going forward on 2. You beat Jacksonville by 1 point because Leonard Fournette tried to run a 2-point conversion, and Justin Reed stopped them on stuff like that. In other games that you won by like 1 possession or won by a field goal. So because the games that you're winning, you're barely winning. You're winning by 1, 2, 3 points, and then the games you're losing them by points. You're losing them by 15 points. You're going to end up with a negative point differential. So this game here basically ended that, because now you're up 22. Now you have an up 22 point differential, and those things are key, because those things really show what type of team you is. Like, why are you you have a winning record, but you have a negative point differential, or you have just a +1 point differential, but you won 12 games. Like, that kind of makes you look very fugazi. It kind of makes you look like a very fraud team. Now, to the people who care about this, Texas first time ever winning at Dallas, first time ever winning at AT&T Stadium, Arlington. This is the 3rd time the Texans beat the Dallas Cowboys. So the Texans are now 3-4 against the Cowboys. So only one, like, we played 7 times. This one will be in 2026, and that game will be at NRG whenever that schedule comes out for the 2026 season. The Texans are now like I said, they're now 3-4 against the Cowboys all time. So one more win away from being at the very least 500 against Dallas. The Texans already have a better have more playoff wins than the Dallas Cowboys since the Texans have been in existence since 2002. The Texans have 5 playoff wins. The Dallas Cowboys only have 4. So for people who got Cowboy fans in their family, or Cowboy fans as their co-workers, Thanksgiving coming up in 2 weeks. This is the reason why we want this to be a Thanksgiving game, because that Thanksgiving game they got now with like Cooper Rush versus Danny DeVito, it's not going to be a good Thanksgiving game, and Cowboy fans are probably not even going to care. It's not even a game I can even laugh at the Cowboy fans. Like, like, again, I'm not a Cowboy hater. I tell people all the time, because like both my parents were Cowboy fans. Like, my dad was a Cowboy fan. My mama is a Cowboys fan. My family are Cowboy fans. Now, my mom, she liked the Texans too. Like, she roots for Texans too. Now, she didn't root for them tonight because she wanted Dallas to win, because she's a Cowboy fan. But for the most part, my mom likes anything from Texas. Like, any team, any school from Texas, except for the Dallas Mavericks. When Dallas Mavericks were in the finals earlier this year, she told me she wasn't rooting for them, and I was surprised because she roots for everything Texas. So that kind of like surprised me. But that's a conversation today. Dallas fans, you can't even laugh at them this year, because like I said, normally Dallas loses very, very funny. Like, every time they lose, it's like, I don't hate the Cowboys. I have no issue with the Cowboys. Actually, my favorite NFL jersey is the Dallas Cowboys blue jersey. I think that's the cleanest jersey, like the Dallas Cowboy navy blue jersey. That jersey's clean to me. I feel like that's like one of the cleanest in football. But every time they lose funny. Like they never lose in a regular, normal fashion. They don't just we just lose. Like in a big game, something always like phenomenal happens, and it like they always like a glorious moment of them losing. Like they'll be down by 20. They'll get all the way up. They just gotta get a 2-point conversion to tie the game, and they'll lose. They'll score the game time touchdown at the end of the game, and then lose the 2-point conversion, or get the 2-point conversion, go to overtime, and they're about to run it in to score the game-winning touchdown and fumble the football. like fumble the football, go into the goal line, like fumble like go into the goal line, fumble the football, and the other team runs it back and scores a touchdown. Like it's always something like that. Or they the team that throw 5, 6, 7 interceptions. Like they always lose funny. So that's always be like the moment on Thanksgiving, watching the Cowboys lose in a funny moment, or just something just funny happening with is always funny. But again, Dallas fans this year don't feel like that, because like I said a few minutes ago, their focus, which it should be, on Deion Sanders and getting Shedeur Sanders. And I don't know what to do with Dak, because Dak has a no trade clause. But Dak has got paid already, so Dak probably will be open to removing his no clause, because he already got paid. It'd be different if he hadn't got paid yet. So he already got paid, so he good with whatever he good with. So that could be a situation for the Dallas Cowboys. But like I said, for y'all who got the family members or co-workers, like I said, Thanksgiving coming up, the Texans have more playoff wins since the Texans have been instance. So 5, the Dallas is 2. The Texans are just 1 game back in the season in the series between the Texans and the Cowboys. The Texans have 3 wins. Dallas only has 4. Don't want to hear anything about like they 5 championships that they haven't won since 1995. Like we're literally literally 30 years away. We're 30 years away from them when they won their last Super Bowl. Like we're 30 years, going on 40 years from the last time y'all won the Super Bowl. So, in our franchise, it's only been in existence for I think 22. Yeah, our franchise has only been in existence 22 years. You haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. We've been in existence for 22 years. Like I don't want to hear that again. And that's for those who end up having those type of arguments and debates on Thanksgiving, on work and things like that. But like I said, the Texans, like I said, were able to win 34 to 10. I'm happy that they were able to get that win. Now they're 7-4, especially with Indianapolis winning yesterday. Both Tennessee and Jacksonville lost. Again, for people who told me that the Texans got mad at me when I said that the Texans are in a sorry division, because I didn't even say sorry, I said trash, because the division is trash. I mean, 2 of your teams have 2 wins. 2 of your teams have 2 wins, and they want to sit up here and talk about because the Texans got at the time had 6 wins, and they ain't all against the AFC South. Okay, let's look at the Texans win, and you can even include today's win, the 7th win the Texans have today. You know, we can include that if you want to. 7 wins, 3 the AFC South. You beat Jacksonville, you beat Indianapolis twice. So that's 3. Yeah, that's 3 of your wins. The other 4 are against rookie Caleb Williams making the 2nd start in week 2. May making his 1st start. You just beat Cooper Rush tonight. The only other one is Josh Allen. That's the one that you get, because Josh Allen and the Bills have lost both to the Texans and the Ravens, and they sitting up there with only 2 losses. So, and also again, that's another thing too, because now the Texans won, Baltimore lost. Now again, the Texans play Baltimore. We all know we play Baltimore on Christmas on Netflix, and I am pretty sure that the NFL is worried Netflix. Now, luckily for Texan fans, us fans, we could watch that game. Yeah, you can watch that game locally. You ain't got like if you in the Houston area, you ain't gotta watch it on Netflix. It's gonna be on ABC, it's Fox, so it's gonna be on NBC. It's gonna be on one of the other what's the other one? KHOU. It's gonna be on one of them channels. It's gonna be on one because the Houston Texan games. Every Texan game has to be on local television. They've signed a contract that every game has to be on local television. So, if y'all didn't know that about the Amazon Prime game, because I know some people run out getting Amazon Prime. You didn't have to go get Amazon Prime. That game was on. I think it was on Fox. I think it was still the Amazon crew. It was still the Amazon production crew. Courage and stuff was calling it, but the game was brought to you on Fox. And so I don't know if it's always going to be on Fox, but I just know a local broadcast will broadcast the Texan game, so you will be able to watch the Texan game. And if you watch it there, you ain't got to worry about that buffering and streaming that Netflix on that Tyson fight, because if they had issues with that Texan and Jake Paul fight, I'm pretty sure that Christmas Day, the NFL is going to be way watching that. Because people gonna have that on just have that on background just while they opening Christmas gifts, eating and all type. Even the it's just gonna be on the background. Plus, also people are so I feel like that game is definitely. But then you got Kansas. One game is Kansas City and Pittsburgh. The first game is Kansas City and Pittsburgh, and then the second game is the Texans and the Ravens. So you City and you got Pittsburgh, which is outside Dallas, the other most national brand, and they're a good football team this year. So those I can definitely see in those games breaking the internet. I can see those games definitely slowing them up and having them buffering and things like that. So I could definitely see that being the case. But the Ravens had lost. And now the Ravens have, that puts them at 4 losses as well. Now the Texans ain't got to worry about the Texans don't have to worry about the Ravens as far as battling for a wild card spot. But this is the thing, especially if the Texans beat the Ravens, the Texans might want the Ravens to win the division. We might want the Ravens division. Because we don't have a tiebreaker over Pittsburgh. Now, the one thing that we had, especially if the Texans win out, because the Texans win out, 3 of the Texans' 4 losses. So if the Texans win out, now again, especially since Kansas City lost to Buffalo, so if the Texans win out, Texans will beat Kansas City. So that's Kansas City having the loss. So you would need Kansas City to lose 2 more games. Like I said, I think that ship is sailed from the Texans win home for the advantage. I think that ship is sailed because the Texans and Kansas City to lose 2 more games outside the game that they play you. And also same thing with Buffalo. You need Buffalo to lose 2. And I don't know Buffalo's schedule. To be honest, you actually kind of should have went for Buffalo. But you actually should have went for Kansas, so Buffalo could lose. So Buffalo could knock down some, because you want to be able to be a higher seed. You don't want that 4 seed. But then again, like I've been saying, I think that Cincinnati gets into the playoffs. But if they get to the playoffs, they're not going to be a 4 or 5 seed. They're going, a 5 or a 6 seed. They're going to be the 7th seed. They're going to be the last team in the playoffs. They're going to be the team that gets into the playoffs. And because I feel like they're the last team to get the playoffs, that means they're going to play the 2 seed. That's a very dangerous matchup, because I can see the Cincinnati Bengals beating anybody in the playoffs. Seriously, any AFC team that's in the playoffs, I think the Cincinnati Bengals have the capability, because they have Joe Burrow. They have the capability of beating any team in the playoffs. So that's the team that I think that NFL teams, all the teams in the playoffs, especially the division leaders, don't want them in the playoffs, because normally you want them to be you normally want to play the weaker opponent, and that's what you don't want to play. The number 2 seed gets the 7th seed for a reason. They're the high seed, they get the weaker opponent. If they're the 2 seed, they can get Cincinnati, and Cincinnati gets to the playoffs. And if Cincinnati goes into Buffalo and beats Buffalo, that throws a complete monkey wrench in the rest of the playoffs. Because now it means now that they will end up going to Kansas City, and then now the third seed, now they're potentially hosting the 4th seed. Third seed fall, now the 4th seed. Like it just it creates Cincinnati getting in because of, I feel like they're not a typical, they're the worst team that gets into the playoffs. They're not going to be like in the NFC. Like in the NFC, like if the 7th seed was the Chicago Bears. But again, the NFC had that same problem with Green Bay. Like if Green Bay is the 7th seed, that's a dangerous 7th seed. That's a dangerous 7th seed for whoever's the number 2 seed, especially if a team like Washington becomes the number 2 seed. That's a dangerous game for Washington. That Green Bay is the 7th seed, and then you like Atlanta, who will probably be the 4th seed. They might look up in better favorable matchup because Green Bay falls to 7. But then again, also they'll probably get Minnesota. So I mean, it's just a lot of different factors, a lot of different nuances. Like the playoffs is a crazy time, and we're getting close to time because we're in the middle of November today, November 18th. We're in the middle of November, and we're in the middle of November, and right now, like now, the playoff picture is starting to show up, and this is normally when franchises start to look and perform, and this is normally when those playoff teams start to make those playoff runs. And you got, like I said, you got Tennessee next week at home. Then you got Jacksonville before the bye week. You got to get those 2 wins. You got to win both those games. You do win both those games and go into the bye week with 9 wins. Like we should be going to the bye week 9-4. There is no way that we should not be going to the 4 and then going up against those, because then that way, if you go into the bye week 9, you got 4 more games: Miami, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Tennessee. You got 4 more games, and also to be honest, because again, especially with these 2 games being divisional games, you beat both of them, I think it's a wrap. I think the division should be clinched. I'll have to see what it probably depends also on what Indianapolis does in that tone in that frame too, because again, they could potentially, that definitely depends on who, because if they lose, say they lose both games, what is their record? They record what? Is their record 5-4? Or is it 5-5? What is their record? 5-5? Because if the Texans have 9 wins, the worst they can be is 9-8. You would need them to get the 8 losses if that's the case. Because the thing is, Indianapolis has to have a better record than you. The Texans actually, I just thought about that. If the Texans win these next 2 games, the Texans could clinch the division officially clinch it. I feel like Texas clinch the division. It's just not official. They can officially clinch the division by the bye week or on their bye week, depending on what Indianapolis does. You're right. We do play Dallas every 4 years. This is that because they add the 17 game. This is the anomaly year. This is the year because okay. So when you win your division, you play 2 division winners. So this year, so these are how the schedules work. Every year you play a division. So you play an NFC and AFC division. The NFC division that you play them once every 4 years. This year we're playing the NFC North. That's the Lions and the Bears and the Packers and the Lions, Bears, Packers, and Minnesota. The AFC division we play this year is the AFC East. That's the reason why we play Buffalo, why we play the Jets, why we play the Patriots, why we will play the Dolphins. So those are it. So then you also play you play the other 2 division winners in the AFC, which is Kansas City and Baltimore, because that's who won last year. And because they added that 17th game, the extra game now is you play an NFC opponent that has the same that's like, it's just falls in that same category of wherever you fall in division. If you first place, you play first place. If you second place, you play a second place team. Third place, fourth place. And this year just happened to fall on the NFC South. I mean the NFC East. I mean, and that's why we played Dallas. So, because won their division last year. If the Eagles would have won their division last year, we would be playing the Eagles. If Washington, the Giants would have won their division, we would have been playing them. I think next year, I know next year AFC we play the West. Yeah, we play the AFC West next year because last year we played the yeah, last year, because last year we played the North. Because last year we played Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. So yeah, next year we played the East. This year we played the West. So next year we'll play Kansas City. No matter what, we'll play the Chargers. We'll play the Raiders, and we'll play Denver next year. The NFC division we'll play is the NFC West. So we'll play the 49ers. We'll play the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams, and we'll play the Cardinals. And the NFC opponent that we'll play will be like the 17 game. I think it's going to be the South. Yeah, it'll be the NFC South next. So we'll play one of the South teams. So we'll play. So we'll probably play the Falcons because like the Falcons will win their division. So yeah, we'll probably play the Falcons next year. That'll probably be like the 17th game. You already know we play 6 division games, 3 at home, 3 away. So I think that's going to be it. I could probably pretty much tell you because last time we played the West, Kansas City came to Houston because that's the game that went to overtime. So we will go to Kansas City and we'll go to Kansas City and we'll go to the Chargers. I'm not Buffalo, but Wichita will come here. The Raiders will come here, and the Broncos will come here. Then on the NFC side, we'll go to the Rams and to the Seahawks. And the 49ers and the Cardinals will come here. I don't know about that 17 game. I don't know. I mean, it probably would. Yeah, because actually, yeah, because we've had, because this year we had games and 9 away games because we went to Dallas this year. So next year that other game will be at home. So we'll play the Falcons at home. It'll be our turn to get the Falcons at home. That's what it'll be. Nico first game back, I like how we play him because I need Nico to go crazy. We play against Tennessee. Like Tennessee got a very good secondary though. We should win this game, but this offense definitely still worries me. It does. Yeah, that's what it was in the second drive. You're right. CJ did throw an interception. That was when CJ threw a second interception. But yeah, I don't know. Like this offense still, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to make about this offense. I really don't. I don't know what to make about this offense. And it's very concerning because of what we thought this offense was going to do coming into the season. What we felt like this offense was going to be like season. So it is concerning. Like it is. It's very concerning because you thought this offense was going to do so much more coming into the season. This offense, how they looking, like how this offense look. You thought more of this offense. But the Texans won the Dallas Cowboys 34-10. Defense finally got a touchdown because of something that they need to do. Because they've been very close. Like I said, they've been able to do everything touchdown these past couple weeks. Like I said, Joe Mixon probably gonna be AFC Player of the Week. I have to look and see what other AFC players done this week offensively, but I don't see nobody. I don't see no, like, unless somebody else had 3 touchdowns. Like unless there's another play, like unless somebody like the week Jamar Chase had 200 yards, but like Jamar Chase and the Bengals didn't win. So I have to see who else won and see if anybody else had 3 touchdowns. But Joe Mixon definitely should win AFC Player of the Week. I think he's definitely if he hasn't already got his career high in touchdowns, I think he's right there. He's already right. He's very close and closing in on his career high in rushing yardage. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like around 1,200 yards. So I think he's already over 7. He's like with like 750, 60 right now, and we still got 6, 7 games left. 6 games left. Yeah, we got 6 games left. So he should be able to wait. That means he's if he's 12, if his career high 12, he's 500 yards away in 6 games. He's gonna need a game that he gets over 100 yards. Like he's gonna need another like 150-yard game like how he had like week 1. He's gonna need 150+ yard game. He's gonna need one of those. He's gonna need one of those. He's definitely gonna need one of those type of games. I'll have to see exactly how much he is away from his career high. But I can I'll have those numbers and break down whenever I do my my preview video on Friday. But man, everybody came through here. If you ain't hit the like button already, make sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and give y'all some time. Make sure you hit the like. Hit the like button already. Make sure you hit the like button. Come on, the Houston Texans just got their first win in Dallas. Finally was able to put up 30-some plus points. Finally was able to, it's like how Joe Mixon did like the belt celebration, like putting on somebody. We put a whooping on somebody on Monday Night Football. Like, think about this: the Texans, from a score wise, did get embarrassed and actually did the embarrassing on a primetime game. When's the last time the Texans have done? When the last time the Texans had beat somebody on primetime like this? I know the Texans were looking very dominant in that Sunday night game against the Patriots back in 2019. I know I don't like, because the Patriots started coming back, so the final score wasn't that. I don't think in none of the Bill O'Brien era. I know on Monday night beat Tennessee. The year like when not Joe Mixon, when Lamar Miller had that 99-yard touchdown, but I don't think that was a blowout though. I think we might just won by like 10 points. I don't think it was like 21 point score. I'm trying to think, it might be the Texans' first Monday Night Football game, because the Texans beat the Jags, I think like 23-10 or something like that. That might be the biggest one up until tonight. I'll have to go back and look at that. Like, I know that first Monday Night Football game in 2008, the Texans beat the Jags pretty good. And they also beat Denver in 2007. They beat Denver on Thursday Night Football as well. And both of those games at home, on the road. Both of those games at home. So Texas actually finally got a win in this 3-game stretch of these primetime games. That was the Texans' last primetime game. So Texas had 4 primetime games. Nights, a Thursday night and a Monday night. They split the Sunday nights. They went 1 for 1. Then had lost the Thursday night and then won the Monday night. So that's that. But man, like I said, shout out to everybody that came through here. Make sure you hit the like button if you hit the like button. Shout out to everybody hit the like button. Shout out to everybody hit the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Y'all know how much that means to me. I definitely appreciate that. Like again, hey, your boy still out here. Still gonna give you I'm still gonna give you the post game. Still gonna give you the post game. Still tell you what I seen. We still gonna give you the post games. And you also gonna get the previews. So also make sure y'all be right here on the channel Friday, probably around like 8 or whatever. But make sure y'all pull up Friday for the preview. We preview exactly what the game is, what's going down, and we're gonna talk about what the Texans should do against Tennessee, because I don't think Tennessee is as big of a pushover as their record indicates, and also records in divisions don't really matter because division games are always closer. We seen that earlier this year against Jacksonville when they haven't had a win yet and won 2 games since then, and one of those was in the division. So again, we see what happened. We went to New York and then we see Indianapolis go out there and beat New York. So I'm talking exactly about what we can do and what we can do versus Tennessee and stuff like that. So make sure y'all pull up. Definitely appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button if you hit the like button already. Like, subscribe below if you haven't clicked that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.